on, Kyle?
Not much. No UFC this week.
No UFC. So we'll do a little recap of the previous card and then maybe do a little bit of looking ahead to the next one in a couple weeks.
You know what? This week off might be nice, too, because we got crushed.
It might be nice. Yeah, how do we do officially?
Not good. We won one bet out of all.
Okay.
It was a parlay. Giannis Santos Pinheiro hit. We had 3 units on it. We lost about half of what we won the week before. So around 16 units.
Nice.
Yeah. Which means we're still up 15 units. Or no, more. We're still up a little bit more than that because we won 35 units.
Right. And then the last UFC 267, we hit another 15 bagger as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. For the year,
overall,
we're way up.
We're up like 100.
Yeah, we're way up, but it always hurts to have a losing week. So,
yeah.
But you learn from it. Not all our reads were bad. We'll just start from the top. The first fight went pretty well. Luana Pinheiro versus Sam Hughes. We did think Luana would get the finish. Just about no one got the finish on this card.
No.
But Luana was way too good for Sam Hughes. The way she uses those judo throws is super impressive.
Vicious.
Oh, yeah. She's a beast. Luana Pinheiro is so good at, and she gets right into side control, right into mount. She's a monster. That was an easy one, and we were right to have her on our parlay.
Yep.
Next fight, Shah Yalan versus Sean Soriano. We were all over this one as well. The write-up couldn't have been more spot on. Sean Soriano was the better striker, and Shah Yalan was the better grappler. It basically went just exactly as I said. Shah Yalan would throw power shots, one at a time, and look to get it to the ground. And Sean Soriano looked pretty good early, but then once Shah Yalan got it to the ground, Soriano had no answer. He could not get up.
Right.
Sean Soriano is not UFC material. He's now lost every single UFC fight he's ever had. And he's had 5. So he's 0-5 in the UFC. I don't know if anyone's ever done that before.
That's certainly impressive.
I expect him to get cut.
I'm sure I could do it if the UFC gave me the chance.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be cut again. And Shah Yalan will get another fight, and we'll probably fade him going forward.
Yep.
Next fight, Cody Durden versus Keelan Aori. We're all over Aori, and this was a bummer because Aori had this. He had it in the bag. That first round was close. Second round, Aori almost finished Durden. He was stuffing the takedowns. He looked awesome. Was peppering him. Durden looked dog-tired. Third round opened up. Durden is dog-tired. Goes for a takedown. Gets stuffed. And grabs the ankle of Aori and just so lazy, Aori let that get turned into a takedown, and he couldn't get up. And that was the story of the fight. If he defends that takedown, he wins. Now, he did end up getting up from that. The third round ended up being pretty close. Some people had it for Aori, but I see why Durden won. Durden then went on to say some racist comments, said go back to China. Which did not sit well with people on Twitter and other UFC fighters.
Yeah.
The UFC just signed, I don't know if you saw this, Scott.
I did not.
They just signed an undefeated Russian prospect actually fighting out of England, Muhammad Mokaev. And he tweeted out, I don't like that racist shit from Cody Durden. Should I smash him in my first fight? So Cody Durden might have pissed off the wrong people here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And especially with a close fight like that. I mean, come on, Durden.
Yeah. Also, Durden didn't have to take the racist route if he wanted to fuck with Aorta. You could have just been like, how about them Uyghurs?
Right. And
Taiwan is a country.
And fucking Durden then tried to backtrack later on, saying, "I didn't mean to offend anyone." Well, you did.
That's lazy racism there.
Next fight, we were wrong.
Could have taken the high road.
Luma Lubumi versus Lupita Godinez. And I'll tell you what, we would have been right on this if Lupita didn't have a fucking brickhead skull. Because she got nailed with some
Mexican
knees.
chin.
She got nailed.
Mexican chin.
With some knees going in for those.
That's a thing.
Shots. Oh, yeah, it definitely is.
Mexican chin is not racist. It's a real thing.
Take a note, Cody Durden.
Yeah.
Loma couldn't defend the takedown. That's what story of that fight. We lost another one. Next one, we were spot on. Rafa Garcia was too much for Nathan Levy. We knew that. We did think he would get the finish. He did not. Levy was pretty tough. But a lot of people, this is where we were so right on some things, and it's a bummer that we had a bad night because I saw so many cappers and so many people on Twitter talking about Nathan Levy was going to have the wrestling edge in this fight. And we were like the only people on the other side saying Rafa Garcia was going to be the better wrestler, and he was. And he out-wrestled Nathan Levy to a decision.
Yeah.
Next fight again was another one. We were completely right. Pat Sabatini versus Tucker Lutz. Another one I saw tons of cappers, tons of people on Tucker Lutz saying he's going to be too much for Pat Sabatini, and Sabatini destroyed Tucker Lutz.
Yes.
That was not close. Pat Sabatini is a problem on the ground.
He's made out of freaking granite.
Yeah, he is. And if he gets you on the ground, you're in a world of hurt. The fact that Tucker Lutz didn't get submitted proves he is pretty tough.
Right.
And then the main card started. Adrian Yanez versus Davey Grant, Cousin Davey.
Cousin Davey.
And it was close. It was greasy.
Yeah. It was a little spicy, though.
Adrian did come through. His striking is so good. But Davey Grant's tough.
The judging was interesting.
Yeah, that 30-27 Grant.
30-27 Grant, and then the other two had a 29-28. Go figure.
I just don't get how you see Grant winning every round of that fight. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. There needs to be a fix in MMA judging because it costs people money.
That was wild.
Yeah. It's going to cost us money. It has in the past, and I'm sure it will again. Next fight, this is a bummer too because this is another one where our read was right, and we lost because of a little bit of bad ring IQ here. Ronnie Yaya versus Kang. Kang was winning this fight. He was looking good, and then he got backpacked by Ronnie Yaya and didn't do anything about it. Complete bummer. Yaya didn't gas like I said he would. He came in a little better shape than normal.
Started jogging, maybe?
Yep.
Maybe mixing in some interval training.
So that was a bummer. I was super confident on Kang. I would make that bet again. Looking at the tape study, there's nothing we can do about that. Ronnie Yaya just didn't gas. And Kang, if he was a little bit smarter, could have avoided getting backpacked. Next one, called it. Talia Santos was going to kick the shit out of Joanne Calderwood, or Joanne Wood. Wouldn't be shocked if Joanne Wood retired after this.
Or they're probably going to give her the old retire or we're cutting you kind of thing.
Possibly. She's super popular, so the UFC might not cut her just because there's not many popular women's flyweights.
They could get Randa Marcos out of, give her another fight after they could uncut her.
So we called that, and that rounded up our parlay. So that was the one win we had. Hit pretty easy. Besides the Yanez, was a little closer than I would have liked. Sean Brady versus Michael Chiesa. I thought Chiesa would win this. I thought he would be the better grappler. I was completely wrong. Sean Brady impressed me with his grappling.
Sean Brady, he's a problem on the ground.
He is.
Because like if you think about how good a wrestler and how good a grappler Michael Chiesa is, and he got absolutely just backpacked, and he got his back taken and couldn't really do much about it other than just poke the shit out of Sean Brady's eyes.
He was scraping the eyes. But Chiesa was pretty active off his back.
Yeah.
And with Sean Brady on his back. Like you were saying, we were talking about this beforehand. The corner work of Chiesa was excellent.
Yeah. They basically told him, they said, you're probably down 2 rounds. You got to go out there and make something happen. And he absolutely did. He was kicking the shit out of him for the 3rd round until I think there was about 2 minutes left. Sean Brady had enough of Chiesa kicking the shit out of him. He didn't want to get knocked out by a non-striker. And he took him down and backpacked him again just kind of rode it out on his back.
Yeah. If Chiesa came through, that could have changed the night a little bit.
That would have been
for
huge.
Us. It was a close fight. It was very close. Chiesa tweeted afterwards that he's pissed about the loss. He felt he learned from it, and the goal's the same. He's going for that belt still, so he's not
going for those eyes still.
And then we get to the main event, Caitlin Vieira versus Miesha Tate, and Caitlin Vieira didn't gas. I thought she was gonna.
Right.
I was adamant that she would gas and that Miesha Tate would finish her in rounds 3, 4, or 5.
Yep.
It didn't happen. It was a close fight, but Caitlin Vieira clearly won that fight.
Yeah, and it was interesting because not only did she not gas, she seemed to get more confident and control the fight more as the fight progressed, which is not what we were thinking.
Not what we were thinking, not what Miesha was thinking.
No.
It didn't go our way. Some takeaways from this fight card for us. We were really high on Pat Sabatini, Rafa, and Shah Yalan. We should have had bets on them. That's our bad. We should. I tried to put Rafa with Chiesa. I got greedy. Shouldn't have done that because I wasn't as confident in Chiesa. I was much more confident in Rafa. He should have been one of our bigger plays. The Loma Luke Bumi loss, I'll take that loss because I'll fade someone who's taken 3 weight cuts in a month every time.
Yeah, that's you're not going to make money betting on someone who fights every week. So you just can't. Maybe she's got 3 fights in her like that, but I guarantee she doesn't have 6.
Yeah, I'll take that. We lost money on Adrian Yanez because we had him by TKO. Looking back, Davey Grant had never been finished. I still don't think that matters all that much. We were betting on Adrian Yanez's talent, not Davey Grant's chin. So, we ended up after the weigh-ins and seeing how big Davey Grant was. I did back down from that bet. So we didn't lose quite as much, thank God. But still, props. We went a little too hard on the props this week. Should have just went with the straight bets. Should have had bets on Pat Sabatini. Should have had bets on Shah Yalan. Because Shah Yalan we weren't as confident in as someone like Rafa or Pat. But the line was so good. I mean, we should have taken that. Those are the lessons. Take the right lines.
Yeah.
And going forward, we don't have any fights this week, but we have a pretty good card. It's not finalized yet, but what we have so far is pretty damn good. I mean, Rob Font versus Jose Aldo on a UFC fight night is about as good as it gets as a main event.
Yeah, this could. I mean, they could make this a pay-per-view if they wanted to. I think this card is pretty fucking strong, especially in comparison to how garbage the card they tried to throw at us this past weekend is.
People were talking, is that the worst? Because there was only one finish, people were saying, was UFC Vegas 43 the worst card of like recent memory? And it might be.
It might be.
But yeah, Rob Font, Jose Aldo, I mean, what a matchup. 2 strikers. Jose's still a beast.
And then you got freaking Fiziev fighting on there. Jimmy Crute versus Jamal Hill is
Jamal
huge.
Hill coming off the broken arm.
Yep.
I said it after Jamal Hill's last fight against Paul Craig. That's someone I'm going to bet on again.
Yep.
Like, we lost that fight.
Yeah.
But when when he's willing to try to knock out his opponent with a broken arm, he didn't care his arm was broken.
Right.
Like, he was going to keep going.
Yeah, I think it ended up just being dislocated.
Yeah. Either way.
But still, I'm sure it hurt
his
like a
arm was
motherfucker and he
flopping
couldn't
around.
use it. Yes.
And he was willing to keep fighting. And he wanted to knock. He said that his goal was, I was trying to knock Paul Craig out before the ref saw that my arm was flopping. That's a bet. That's someone I want to bet on.
Right. Right.
Jamal Hill also had a tweet that I liked when Max Holloway was fighting, and he kept saying he's the best boxer in UFC. Jamal Hill said, "Fuck the best boxer. Still ain't nobody out here that could beat me throwing hands."
Oh my god! Yeah, he might be right.
He might be. He really might be right.
And Jimmy Crute's a monster.
Jimmy Crute is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good fight. Jake Matthews versus Jemiah Wells is a good fight. Manel Kape versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov.
Getting Zhalgas Zhumagulov as a plus 180 dog might be that's a pretty good line on Zhalgas.
Too. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
And Brad Riddell versus Fiziev is a banger. That's a crazy fight. What's the line for the Rob Font Jose Aldo?
Font is minus 165.
I already know I'm hammering Jose Aldo. I already know I am.
Dude. I knew that was going to be our official position as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh my god.
I mean,
a million units on Jose Aldo, please.
Jose Aldo. People, the disrespect.
Dude, he got very disrespected against Edson Barboza.
Jose Aldo is still one of the best in the world, and he's been one of the best in the world forever. I don't care what the fuck Conor McGregor says. He was scared to rematch him. And
right. If that fight, if the Jose Aldo Conor McGregor fight goes more than 1 minute, goes more than one punch, Jose Aldo probably beats him.
Yeah, and then look at Aldo's last few fights. He beat Pedro Munoz. He beat Marlon Vera. He lost to Peter Yan, and he looked decent at spots in that fight. He lost to Marlon Moraes, which I thought he won. And the UFC basically treated that as a win because he fought Peter Yan next.
Right.
He lost to Alexander Volkanovski. He beat Moicano. He beat Jeremy Stevens. He lost to Max Holloway twice. I mean, the guy is the fucking one of the GOATs.
Yeah. And at 35, he's not showing really any signs of slowing down.
No. And Rob Font, as good as he is, he's not up for, like, one of the GOATs. He beat Cody Garbrandt, you know?
Right.
Cody No Love never beats Jose Aldo. Never.
Not in a million years.
No.
And yeah, I said disrespected against Edson Barboza, but what I was actually thinking of is Marlon Vera and Pedro Munoz. I think he was a dog in both of those fights.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm ready to smash him.
Smash.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, we got the week off. We'll still be out here writing articles. We'll find something to do. We actually have that Triller event this week. Triller Fight Club. Don't forget about the Triller Fight Club, which has main event Kubrat Pulev versus Frank Mir. We got Alexander Flores versus Matt Mitrione. We got Michael Seals versus Mike Platinum Perry. I mean,
Platinum Mike?
Yeah, it's and we got a full concert of Metallica live on pay-per-view.
Dude, what?
Oh yeah, Triller.
Full Metallica concert.
Yeah,
all right,
that's an upgrade from the fucking Paul Brothers, because when the Paul Brothers were on there, they just had Doja Cat on a million times.
Right.
And it was a mailed-in performance by the Beebs. Up again, Doja Cat. They just kept having her back on.
Still.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty fucking insane.
Oh yeah. So we'll cover that a little bit just because.
Frank Mir.
Oh yeah, fighting
my
the
God.
Bulgarian.
How old is Frank Mir?
He's 42 years old.
See, I thought for sure he's gonna be 50.
Yeah, he was very young in the UFC.
Yeah.
He's actually younger than Matt Mitrione. Matt Mitrione's 43. And the guy he's fighting, Kubrat Pulev, is 40. Frank Mir will probably win. He'll probably submit this dude.
Yeah.
And
I don't see why
Mike
not.
Perry, it's a Triller event, so I know they allow cigarettes at the weigh-ins. I need to see Mike Perry smoking cigarettes at the weigh-ins again. Because when he did that in Submission Underground, that was fucking all-time.
Yeah. There are definitely no rules against ripping darts. How do you think he's getting able to cut that weight? He's got to suppress the appetite.
Yeah, he's fighting a fucking 6'3" dude. Mike Perry's 5'10". He'll probably win too. But Mike Perry's tough as nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt Mitrione is a fucking all-timer.
Former New York Giant.
Yep.
Former New York Giant knocked out Fedor Emelianenko.
Yep.
It's interesting. And it's a Triller event, so it's gonna be ridiculous. You're gonna get Oscar De La Hoya fucking saying yes baby every time, drunk, coked out of his mind. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dog, the whole deal.
Love it.
Yep. All right, guys.
We will be back in full force next week.
Oh yeah. Make sure you sign up for our Substack. We're also working on getting some merch. I've been looking into it today. Yep.
Terrific. All right.